Hey, what's going on, guys? 118 Set Shadow here. Well, compared to Tuesday, I have a lot more to go through for today, and it will probably drag on quite a bit. So, as a first, I'm going to be splitting my market watch for today. I'll be having this one for the afternoon, and then I'll have another one at my usual time later in the day. So, for the first one, we're going to be covering what Bushiroad has announced since yesterday up to today. And then for the latter one, I'll be specifically looking at lyrical melody sets again, just to kind of take a look at what has been selling and what to really watch out for as we keep going, and what you shouldn't have to worry about. That's something else I also want to cover, and we will go into that in the second video. But to start off, before we go into the news, this weekend is also the sneak preview for Set 9, Dragon Tree Invasion. So, if you're looking to pick up Viamon Spruce, Unica, or Griffogila, or... I can't believe I keep forgetting his name. I kind of like him too, but it's so hard to remember his name. Essentially, I'm talking about the mech from Brandgate, Alvagard, I believe. I think that was his name. But in any case, looking for any of those cards, they're all in this set, as well as the reprints of stuff like Brainwash Swirler, Inlet Pulse. We're going to see what the ratios actually look like for those. And then we've also got the other reprints exclusive to us, such as Bobelmine, Megan, and from some early previews, Breaking Street Date, unfortunately, we did see that we aren't getting triggers like Japan did. But pre-order prices on these, I'd say shop around, because you might be able to get these cheaper. Well, you'll definitely get them cheaper on release day, but I would ask around your locals and see if they have some better prices for you. Now to go into the news forecasts, Bushiroad announced some more reprints for Festival Collection 2023 on the promo side. Stuff like Halbei, Emmeline, and Shelling Cannon Dragon are all getting reprints in Festival Collection 2023. There are several more that were announced as well. I can't remember them off the top of my head, but when you look at these prices of Halbei and Emmeline, you really hope that they aren't going to do short printing of these in Festival Collection either, given we really need these cards right now. We really need those reprints. And given the mass amount of reprints the Festival Collection's been getting in Japan, hopefully they won't short anything, but we will see. Next up is a new ban list that Bushiroad put out. And there were 2 touches to D format. There were some additional touches to V Premium and Premium, but we are not going to go over those today as it's a D format market watch. The first one is regarding Eva. Eva got a choice restrict. And before we go into what they are, I just kind of want to cover some of the prices we've got. Holofoil wise, we're looking at the single dollars range up to 6. Regular Eva is still looking at $20. The SPs are pretty insane right now. The ride line, the grade 0 starts off close to 200. The grade 3 is 300 now. And then the grade 1 and 2 are looking at $165 basically. But Eva got a choice restrict with Combine Rusher. So now you will not be able to play Combine Rusher with Eva, and the same vice versa. Mind you that these restrictions only take place in Japan. We don't know when we'll get these restrictions over here, and technically they could be different depending on tournament results. I'm pretty sure they won't change, but I don't think we will get them until BCS circuit. So at the very least, the BSF probably won't be affected by this list. But Combine Rusher now has 9 listings for the Triple R, starting at 34, And the FFR has dropped off a little bit on this news, where we're looking at $90 to start off with. The next one is Chronojet Dragon. Looking at some of the prices before we get into the news, the Stride deck set is $250 for the premium, and then $65 for the regular one. Mazer Gear is still $35, and unfortunately unlikely to change. The Chronojet Dragon Crest, the TDR version, is $28 right now. And then everything else, if you're looking at the TDRs, they're still a fair amount of money. But the choice restriction on Chronojet, I'm pretty sure several of you might have guessed this one already, is Brainwash Swirler. Brainwash Swirler can no longer be used with Chronojet, and Chronojet can no longer be used with Brainwash Swirler. Which honestly, I don't see this affecting the price too much for Brainwash Swirler, as one, it's already slated for a reprint in set 9, which is already very low in quantity. And then Brainwash Swirler is too much of a generic that can be played in various other Dark State decks. And so, even with the reprint coming up, I would not anticipate this card going any lower than 40, and is more than likely to stay at 45 to 50 afterward. But because it's BSF season, I don't anticipate this happening anytime soon. If we do happen to get the ban list applied to us during BSF, that would be a surprise, and that would likely see a drop off on Brainwash Swirler and probably an increase in price on stuff like Gunram or Mikani, who are already seeing price increases as well. Next bit of news is Bushiroad is announcing some new structure decks for Graham Grace, for the one unit from Deer Days used by the main villain, the Dark States unit that can restand itself. And then the third one is Orphis Regis. So we're actually going to get a deck for Orphis, a pre-constructed deck. This has been announced for Japan so far. We'll see if they actually bring it over here. There are some products that Bushiroad just doesn't bring over here on random occasions, or they just water them down pretty drastically. But because the structure decks are looking to be on the more expensive side, more expensive than the Drajeweled and Raika ones, this probably won't change the price point of Orphis Regis too much, especially since set 10 is bringing it new support. Don't expect that new support to be in the structure deck, it's very unlikely. But we're looking at $25 right now for Orphis Regis, and we'll have to see where it goes from here in terms of the triple R. Archite is also seeing an increase in value. While you see $4.25 on the triple R for this one, it is going higher than that. It's been selling for closer to $10, and the one $4.25 one has only one copy with a $2.50 shipping tag. The vast majority of copies are available for $8 on the low end. Then it goes to $10 straight and higher. So Archite's getting up there. If you needed to pick that up, I'd shop around and see if you can find some more. But if you have copies, there are only 8 listings right now, so I'd put them up on the market because they are selling. Then a product call out. I've talked about how Raging Flames against the Emerald Storm, it's set 7, has been so low in circulation, particularly because the promos have been so hard to get, and then individual singles are so high priced in this set, leading to this box to become a $100 box on TCG Player. One person has already bought it for $100, and the last sells were in the 60s. Now, I would tell you list your boxes if you've got your boxes, but I'm pretty sure as individual buyers, you probably don't have a massive boxes. But we desperately need another run of this set. There are too many cards in here that are getting great support in future sets, and just like with set 4, as we continue to get support for those cards, they're just going to get higher and higher if we don't see another run of this set. Such as Drajeweled. Tomorrow's anime episode is going to be featuring Avagalder and Drajeweled facing off with each other. Poor Sam is probably going to get beaten pretty hard with this. Avagalder just cannot get a break. But Drajeweled is looking at $18 for its low end, and then the DSR is sold out right now. The FFR is currently $64 with 5 listings. But Rakagur, on the other hand, is seeing a pretty hefty bump in price. We're at $18, $19 for the Triple R, but there are only 2 listings, and the second listing is $40. In terms of sells, $19 to $21 is now the norm here. If we look historically, people are still buying this for $20. So if you've got Rakagurs that you don't want, put them up on the market. They are selling easily. Now, while I said Avantgarde and Drajeweled are the ones that are going to be featured for the match, there is a series that may inadvertently get some more price increases due to this, Youthberg. In particular, because there was a showing of Raika in the preview, and when you think about it, Raika follows Michiru, who plays Drajeweled. So if Michiru kind of puts himself into a position where he's actually going to stick with the uniformers, Raika might follow suit. Which means that we could very well expect that Skyfall Arms will end up getting a mask version instead. But that's the other thing that I'm curious to hear your thoughts about, and I'll probably post out a question about this. Will Skyfall Arms get the mask as a new Grade 3 mask? Or will Skyfall Arms get a Rebel dress that is mask-based? I'm curious about that myself. It would be interesting to see. What do you guys think about that? I am very curious. Comment in the comments down below what your thoughts are, or I'll just put up a question about it too. But thank you guys for watching today, and I will have my second video later. For this one, if you did like the video, please like and subscribe, and I will see you guys later in the evening.